Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to News 3 Live at 4. It's Friday. It's a special Friday. It's a holiday Friday.
Yes, it is. The start of a long holiday weekend, and the weather looks great.
Yeah, at least for most of the weekend.
We're the lucky ones in the country.
Yeah, we'll find out what's going to happen here. But down south, this is what's making news on this Friday. Hurricane Dorian is getting stronger in the Atlantic Ocean, and it's headed for Florida.
The head of the Madison School District's after-school program will appear in court next week on charges related to child pornography.
And border wall funding could be getting a boost. We'll share how the Defense Department is being tapped for the money.
Let's take a look outside today on this Friday afternoon. Bright sunshine, nice and mild. Oh, isn't this great?
Perfect day to walk 3 identical dogs.
Are those yellow labs or golden retrievers?
No, those are yellow labs.
Oh, they are so cute. Triplets.
Yep.
Taking a spin.
Not a bad weekend. The weather words. Dave Caulfield is in the backyard. Good night for a walk.
Yeah, not bad at all. As we head into the next couple of days, we'll see some pretty nice weather overall. On Doppler track, we are quiet right now across southern Wisconsin. There are going to be some rain chances over this holiday weekend, but nothing that will really cancel any plans, I don't think, especially if we're north of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. There is a better chance for rain a little bit farther south of us. So your day planner showing temperatures in the 50s as we head into tonight, with highs as we get into tomorrow in the low 70s. We'll have more clouds than anything else tomorrow, but the good news is I think a lot of that rain stays out of southern Wisconsin until we get into later on Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then the rest of the time should be dry and plenty of sunshine returning just in time for Labor Day. We'll take a look at traffic, plus we'll take a look at your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Dave, thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
And we start with breaking news just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center. Firefighters in Edgerton are responding to a fire in the 9300 block of Arrowhead Shores Road in the town of Fulton. This is a developing story. Stay with Channel 3000 and News 3 Now for the latest.
Hurricane Dorian is gaining strength in the Atlantic Ocean as it barrels toward Florida.
The storm is expected to make landfall as a powerful Category 4 storm just in time for Labor Day. Nicole Killian reports from Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Follow her, follow her.
The race for essentials kicked into high gear Friday along Florida's Atlantic coast.
I've already got all my plywood, my shutters, fuel, food, water, everything.
Shoppers took advantage of Hurricane Dorian's slow approach to stock up on items such as flashlights, batteries, and water.
You get as much as you can get and call it a day. They allow us 3 here today.
At many gas stations, drivers are waiting in long lines to fill their tanks.
Just a little bit more patience, a little tolerance. That's my advice.
Dorian is expected to hit Florida's east coast as a Category 4 hurricane with 140-mile-an-hour winds.
The one thing that's been pretty certain is that this thing's been getting stronger very consistently.
As NASA officials move mobile launchers indoors at Kennedy Space Center, workers along the Cocoa Beach Pier boarded up to hunker down.
Trying to make sure we're done early so that our team members can have the opportunity to go home and be with their families.
Dorian threatens to bring life-threatening storm surge and flooding to the region over several days.
You gotta be prepared, you gotta be safe than sorry.
The storm could be the strongest to hit Florida's east coast in almost 3 decades. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Cocoa Beach, Florida.
And the governor of Florida says President Trump has approved the state's request for federal assistance ahead of the storm. National Guard troops are also already on the ground to assist.
The man accused of attempting to abduct a toddler in Lake Delton will have a competency evaluation. 22-year-old James Sellers made his first appearance in court today via webcam. Police say Sellers attempted to abduct a 2-year-old from a home back in May. Today, the judge ordered the competency evaluation and a $5,000 cash bond. Sellers is also not allowed to return to the neighborhood where the incident occurred. The district attorney's office tells us that the head of the Madison School District's after-school program, 44-year-old Jacob Tissue, is expected to appear in court on Tuesday.
He has been arrested on tentative charges of possessing child porn. The school immediately placed him on leave when they found out about this, and our Jamie Perez is here now with more on what we know. Jamie?
Today, the police, the DA, and the school district all declined to comment any further on where exactly they're at in this investigation, although the school district spokesperson said they are making staff support support and student safety their #1 priority. Now, earlier this morning, there was an all-staff meeting at MSCR, though they didn't comment as to what was specifically discussed. And when we tried to look up his profile, we saw his page had been taken down from their website. Tissue's home is in McFarland, and he's previously worked as the Warner Park facility manager, the Cottage Grove Parks and Recreation and Forestry director, and a recreation management teacher at MATC. People who knew Tissue told me off camera there was nothing they saw that was really abnormal about him, which is why people say they're shocked to hear about this news. This case is now being handled by the district attorney's office. We are waiting to hear back on when those formal charges may be announced. In the meantime, the district said they are cooperating with police as they continue this investigation, and obviously this is a story that we will continue to follow.
All right, Jamie, thank you.
Sure.
Madison police say they're investigating a burglary on the east side. Around 3:30 this morning, the owner of the Fast Track gas station on East Wash was alerted of a burglary by an alarm. Products were scattered around the store and some cigarettes and cash were stolen. The investigation is ongoing. Students are getting ready to go back to school after Labor Day weekend, but teachers are already back in their classrooms preparing and going through different trainings.
Gabriella Becerra joins us now with how local school districts are training staff to handle potential security threats for the upcoming school year. Gabby?
That's right. All staff goes through various training to prepare for potential situations that could harm the school and students. Some of these training procedures have changed over the years. Over the last several years specifically, local schools have become more aware of active shooter situations and how to respond in case of emergency. This means more in-depth training about what actions to take if a threat comes on campus. Middleton Cross Plains Area School District spokesperson Perry Hibner says it's important to make sure that staff is prepared, but also to make sure that students are not scared.
Goal is to try to make people feel as comfortable as possible about these things and be prepared, but at the same time we also don't want to make them so anxious that they're constantly worrying about it, because I mean the reality is that we want to make our schools as safe but also as inviting as possible.
Classrooms in both Middleton and Madison school districts have procedure books in the classroom to remind both teachers and students what to do in various situations. District officials say training at the beginning of the school year isn't enough to be prepared, so they practice these procedures throughout the year.
Can never be too prepared. Gabby, thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. A woman who gave birth alone inside a Colorado jail is now suing the Denver Sheriff's Department for her treatment. The video is disturbing. Diana Sanchez is seen screaming in pain for roughly 5 hours in her cell at the Denver County Jail. At times, nurses from the Denver Health Medical Center come in. One hands her an absorbent pad, but no one takes Sanchez to the hospital, and no one was in the cell at the time the baby was born. Shortly after the birth, a male nurse, who Sanchez says had been watching from outside of the cell, comes in and picks up the newborn.
That pain was just it's indescribable. And what hurts me more, though, is the fact that nobody cared.
Any layperson can see that a woman who has been in labor for hours and hours and who is yelling, calling that she's in labor and needs to go to the hospital, needs to go to the hospital.
The Denver County Sheriff's Department says it has now changed its policy to ensure that pregnant inmates who are in any stage of labor are immediately taken to the hospital.
President Trump's personal assistant, whose desk was just outside the Oval Office, has abruptly resigned amid accusations of leaking information to the media. Madeleine Westerhout turned in her notice last night and won't be back at the White House after she reportedly leaked information to the media. Sources tell CBS News Westerhout attended an off-the-record dinner with reporters in New Jersey during the president's recent vacation. There, she allegedly disclosed private details about the president's family and gossiped about TV news personalities seeking advice, or seeking access, it is, to the president.
The president could be looking to the Defense Department for more money to build a southern border wall. White House officials say President Trump wants them to be aggressive in the race to complete the border wall. Some of that funding could come from the military's construction budget. Late last month, the Supreme Court cleared the way for $2.5 billion of defense money budgeted for counter-drug efforts to be used for the wall.
He wants us to move fast. We do have a second source of funding that is accelerating the pace of wall building now rather dramatically.
The Washington Post reported the president said in meetings that he would pardon subordinates who break the law in order to get the wall built swiftly. White House officials told CBS News the president was joking. The president tweeted this was made up by the Washington Post only in order to demean and disparage fake news.
Authorities this week say that they've seized enough fentanyl to kill millions of people, along with cash, guns, and other illegal drugs. In total, authorities seized over 30 kilograms of fentanyl, 30 kilograms of heroin, 5 kilograms of cocaine, and over $700,000 in cash. They also seized roughly 24 firearms, including an AK-47. The bust spanned 3 states. One of the 39 people charged ordered fentanyl from Shanghai and had it delivered to Virginia through the mail.
The last thing we want is for the U.S. Postal Service to become the nation's largest drug dealer.
Yesterday, the Coast Guard announced the crew of Coast Guard cutter Robert Ward seized about 2,800 pounds of cocaine during their first drug patrol in the eastern Pacific Ocean. The cocaine was worth an estimated $38.5 million.
There's more at 4. When we come back, is a movie in your holiday weekend plans?
You might want to check out After the Wedding. We'll have a preview when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
The Prep Mania High School Football Game of the Week features a great early season matchup. It is Verona at Middleton. Join Jay Wilson, Bill Brophy, and Al Minert live on channel3000.com. I thought this game was last night. I might be wrong about that.
No, it's tonight. All
It's
right.
tonight.
We
Okay.
also have 3 other games live on channel3000.com, including Beaver Dam at Oregon, Wanakee at Stoughton, and Reedsburg at Monona Grove. That's all tonight. 4 games on channel3000.com. Stocks closed mixed ahead of new tariffs and the long holiday weekend. The Dow Industrials added 41 points, ending the month at 26,403. The Nasdaq lost 10 points, but the S&P 500 was up almost 2.
Well, 2 powerhouse actresses face off in a new indie drama that's expanding from limited to wider release.
David Daniel has a look at the new movie, After the Wedding.
You must be Isabel. Yes, I'm Teresa. So nice to meet you.
Julianne Moore and Michelle Williams play very different women in After the Wedding. Billy Crudup plays Oscar, Teresa's husband, who's surprised when his wife invites Isabel to their daughter's nuptials.
Isabel runs an orphanage in India that I'm thinking of funding.
Oh. But all 3 have secrets, creating doubts and mistrust, even as circumstances bring them closer together.
I love the fact that these women were both equally powerful and also both felt that they'd made the correct choice. They both feel that they're really on the right side of morality with the choices that they've made, and they're incredibly judgmental of one another.
I don't trust your wife.
She's going to give you money for your charity, and you're going to question her integrity, huh?
20 million. What does she want?
This is the 4th film Moore has made with her husband, director Bart Freundlich.
It was this big drama with all of these big narrative things that go on, but yet it was also this character piece that fully explored, 360, these characters.
Characters whose decisions literally will change lives.
When you realize what one woman is asking the other woman to do, it's really extraordinary.
You know that you're not the only one affected by this, right?
We don't get to choose. You tell her I will.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And just to clear up the confusion a little bit, the Prep Mania game of the week tonight is Verona at Middleton. The freshman Verona played last night, so that's why we got a little confused. But it is tonight at 7 on channel3000.com.
And there's more to come at 4, including a look at your first alert forecast.
And then coming up tonight at 5, multiple police departments are investigating several residential burglaries the last few nights. We'll get an update when we come back.
Well, take a look at this. Paige, the bride, is taking part in the tradition of throwing the bouquet at her wedding. Up it goes, but it doesn't come down. In an incredible shot she probably couldn't duplicate, she ends up throwing the floral arrangement into the chandelier where it got stuck. Luckily, they had a backup bouquet for her second attempt. The bride's cousin ends up catching it.
That's awesome. I'm sure a couple of the dates were excited.
Yeah.
At least at first, like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
don't have to commit.
She couldn't do that if she had to.
Yeah, that's one of a kind.
A story to tell.
Yes, exactly. And we have a bit of a story to tell this weekend, although it will be pretty nice overall. A couple of rain chances here and there that we might have to dodge, but not too bad as we head into the next couple of days, especially Monday. I think that's the banner day of the weekend. We'll talk about that and much more in your First Alert forecast in just a few minutes. Good afternoon. I hope you had a really nice Friday. Plenty of sunshine across southern Wisconsin on this Friday. Any rain showers well off to the west. We could see some rain showers during this Labor Day weekend, but really the chances aren't looking all that good, which is good for us, for any plans that you might have outside. I think the best chance of seeing some showers will be later on Saturday into early Sunday morning. After that, we're looking mostly dry for southern Wisconsin. Visible cloud track, just a few high cirrus clouds throughout the day. A low pressure system off to our south that is bringing us just a few clouds, but still plenty of sunshine filtering through. Speaking of clouds, we're watching this batch of clouds very closely. And why is that? Well, that's because this is Hurricane Dorian. The latest update just coming out about 20 minutes ago. And right now, a Category 3 storm with winds sustained of about 115 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. So it's really starting to slow down even more. And as it gets closer to the Bahamas and into near eastern Florida, it's going to continue to slow down. So staying as a Category 3 and making landfall potentially as a Category 4. Now, the question marks start to arise what happens as far as the turn northward. If it happens a little bit sooner, that would be beneficial for much of the southeastern coast. But right now, it looks like it makes landfall and starts to head north pretty quickly. So that would help spots like Tampa. But for the eastern side of Florida, would not be the best scenario, because as it starts to slow down, then you have to think about the heavy rain threat as well as that storm surge and wind threat. Back home, we're actually not going to see any hurricanes anytime soon. Madison on the Edgewater Skycam looking at mostly sunny skies right now. Today's high of 72 degrees, about 5 degrees below normal for this time of year. And temperatures are going to stay in the 70s, I think, as we head into the next couple of days. But the 80s do come back for Monday on Labor Day and for Tuesday. So some other temperatures: 71 in Watertown, 70 in Waukesha, and 72 in Platteville and Mineral Point. Look at these dew points, though. A completely different story compared to this time yesterday, in the mid-40s. So very, very comfortable air. Look, at someone left the dehumidifier on across southern Wisconsin, and honestly, I'm here for it, folks. About 20 degrees less humid, so those dew points down 20 degrees from where they were yesterday when they were in the mid-60s. We didn't get those thunderstorms across much of southern Wisconsin, which was actually a welcome surprise for some of us. And temperatures are going to continue to dip through the 70s and 60s for Friday night football tonight. And I think we'll be dry across southern Wisconsin tonight as well. Pretty nice football weather on the way. As far as temperatures go, high temperatures, that is, will be in the mid-70s for Sunday, and then dry for Monday with temps in the low 80s. We do have some chances for showers and storms on Tuesday, as those highs are in the lower to middle 80s. So for tonight, partly cloudy, seasonably cool, temperatures dipping into the low 50s once again. For tomorrow, we'll be in the low 70s. Variably cloudy. We will see some pockets of sunshine, but really not all that much overall. Maybe a shower as we get into the afternoon hours. But again, that better chance for storms arrives later on Saturday into early Sunday. So, and really, on future track, a lot of that heavier rain is staying south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. But still have the umbrella ready to go on Saturday. On Sunday, I think we will be dry and we'll start to see those clouds thin out. And that's good news, because we actually do have a chance across portions of Wisconsin and a lot of the northern part of the country to see the aurora borealis, the northern lights, this weekend. The better day for seeing that, for a number of reasons, will actually be Sunday night as opposed to Saturday night. But both days, at least, the aurora is in play for some of us. The 7 to 10 day forecast showing the 70s coming back as we get into the middle of next week. And then we'll have plenty of sunshine, pleasant weather on Wednesday and Thursday. Look at those 60s for next weekend. And temperatures look like they are really staying cool as we start the trek into September and into the middle of the month of September as well. As you might expect, those high temperatures typically start to go down at that time, but it looks like that's going to play true to form as we head into next weekend with those highs in the upper 60s.
Taste of Madison this weekend.
Looks good for that. And the first day of school, too.
Yeah, all looking,
here we go.
Looking pretty good.
Here we go. It's just about over.
Yeah, oh boy.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you,
college football is back, and the Badgers are gearing up to play their first game of the season.
After a disappointing season last year, fans and players are ready to start fresh. Our Christina Laurie was at Camp Randall this morning with Justin Doherty from the UW Athletic Department.
Hi, Mark and Susan. It's time to pack it up, pack it in. Badger football season is about to begin. We're still about a week away from Camp Randall being packed with 80,000 Badger fans, but we thought now would be the perfect time to get some preseason game day predictions. So we brought out Justin Doherty from the UW Athletic Department. Hi, Justin. Thank you for talking to us.
Absolutely.
So we want to get some predictions. The team finished 8-5 last season. Where are they going to finish this time around?
Well, I think you want to win all of them, right? You want to win all 13, 14, 15 games, whatever it is. I think prediction-wise, fun. That's what Camp Randall's about. It's about 7 times a year we get to do this, and it's about just people coming out here having fun. Generations of fans have been through this ritual of coming to see the Badgers and spending the day here at Camp Randall, and that's what we're most looking forward to.
And last year the team finished with a win in the Pinstripe Bowl. Any bowl game predictions?
Bowl game prediction, that's a tough one. We've been to a bowl game. I've mentioned this, our combined NCAA tournament basketball appearances and bowl appearances more than any other school in the country since the mid-90s. So I would, obviously hope to be back in a bowl game. Which one it is, we'll kind of just have to wait and see.
And finally, for Badger fans at home checking their calendars, what game or games should they try to make it out for? I know all of them are pretty electric here at Camp Randall.
Yeah, like I said, I think you get 7 chances this year to do this, and so we're looking forward to all of those. But we do have some, of the bigger brand name schools and rivals that our fans have become accustomed to, the Michigans, the Iowas, the Northwesterns, and so on. So it's going to be fun.
And with the Badgers already ranked 19th in the AP's Top 25 poll, you can bet all of those matchups will be really exciting. And Wisconsin will hopefully stick with it all season. Thank you so much for talking to us, Jason. Sure. And I'll send it back to you.
Christine, thank you. You can watch the game tonight, 6 o'clock. It's on ESPN.
Still to come tonight at 4, she rides because others can't.
Our Charlotte DeLeste has the story of a woman who makes the AIDS bike ride every year. She's doing something good when Live at 4 continues.
It's a live look this afternoon at Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Wow.
The old calm before the storm.
A couple people on the beach, but everybody getting ready.
Yeah, get ready to get out.
Well, we always like to share stories, as you know, of people doing something good.
Charlotte DeLeste joins us now with another one of those stories. Charlotte?
Well, I'm not telling you something you don't already know. Madison is a great place to bike. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed not to find someone on their bicycle on any given day of the year. A woman on Madison's east side is using her bicycle for 2 decades now to do something good for those who are fighting an incurable disease.
So this is my friend Ray, and he still lives in California.
Looking through old pictures.
Isn't he cute?
Very cute. Can bring back a lot of great memories.
Daniel was the drum major of the Madison Scouts, and he just passed 2 years ago.
It can also remind you of who's no longer here.
I had several friends that had passed from AIDS in the 80s.
And the number of friends lost continues to go up.
It is hard. Well, yeah, it's maddening, especially in the beginning when nobody knew what was going on. It was scary more than anything. And watching your friends just fade away.
Determined to keep her friends' memories alive, Kristen Matthews hopped on her bicycle.
I've been fortunate enough, plus I'm super stubborn, so that helps, to be able to do it for 20 years.
She started riding in the Heartland AIDS Ride 20 years ago until she and a core group of people started Madison's own AIDS Ride.
I've become a ride leader. I mentor new riders. This year I was on the organizing committee of the ride, so I've been very, very involved. The people that ride are still cut from the same cloth. Their heart's in the right place. You know, we still are there for each other. We're there for the right reason.
And that reason, there's still no cure.
People that suffer from HIV, AIDS, you know, they don't have it easy. They have to take multiple medications every day to stay alive. A lot of times it makes them ill. You know, it's not an easy life at all.
This summer's 275-mile, 3-day ride marked Kristen's 20th.
It was probably the toughest ride I've ever done in 20 years. Every year I have those moments where I'm like, God, can I keep going? When I come to that moment where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I start just saying their names in my head. And that's what keeps me going.
Even though Kristen makes sure she crosses that finish line year after year, she knows the real work isn't over yet.
AIDS Resource Center of Wisconsin still helps hundreds and hundreds of people every year. Great services. It's the #1 service organization in the country.
And helping is something she pledges to do for as long as she can.
Isn't that what we're here for? To me personally, life isn't about just going to work, punching in a clock, getting a paycheck. You're here to make a difference and to make a change for the better in society.
A change for others, so they don't have the same fate as her friends.
I think they'd be happy that I took the time to care.
Kristen, thank you for doing something good. I hope you truly understand the positive impact you have made and continue to make. So planning for next year's ride is already getting underway, and the number of riders has gone down over the years. So let's get that back up. If you can help, donate, volunteer, or if you want to ride, you know you do, please email aidsridewisconsin@arcw.org. Now, if you know of a person, a business, or organization doing something good, please let me know. Fill out a nomination at channel3000.com/do-something-good.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's already logged over 7,100 miles.
That's incredible.
Just for the rides itself. So
Wow.
she's
doing something good.
She certainly is. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Charlotte, thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte.
When we come back, we'll find out how the Overture Center is bringing young people and the arts together.
Our Michael Bruno will tell us more about the Arts Career Exploration Spotlight, or ACES, when Live at 4 continues.
Good afternoon. Here's your Friday First Alert traffic update, taking a live look at Park Street and the Beltline. We can see eastbound is running quite slow right now, and we know that with the holiday weekend basically upon us, it's going to be a busy travel day, so you may want to plan for about 5 extra minutes at least as you're getting out on the roads. Things not looking too bad eastbound from about Verona Road to Park Street. It's after you get past Park Street all the way to Stoughton Road, where there is an accident eastbound at exit 266, that is Stoughton Road. And also still an accident being reported closer to Middleton on University Ave and Deming Way. That's still causing a few brake lights there. Average speed on the Beltline past Park Street is around 15 miles per hour, so you want to plan for some extra time on the commute home. Right now, eastbound John Nolan to the interstate will cost you 10 minutes with an average speed of around 25 miles per hour. And that is your First Alert traffic update.
All right, Dave, thank you. It's convention time for hundreds of beer aficionados. Collectors from around the world began buying, trading, and selling containers of brews at the 49th gathering of members of the Brewery Collectors Club of America held in Albuquerque. Some of the rare cans can go for $100 and in some cases thousands of dollars. Others opt to swap their six-packs with fellow fans of foam. After the swapping ends, many participants, well, they go out for a beer. Well, this summer, the Overture Center in Madison initiated a new program called Arts Career Exploration Spotlight, or ACES.
The idea is to offer Madison area middle and high school students a new pathway to exploring local arts organizations and career possibilities. Our Michael Bruno went backstage to find out more.
ACES stands for Arts Career Exploration Spotlight. And so it came to be as a result of Overture wanting to do more work in terms of outreaching to community and diverse communities in Madison, Dane County, and surrounding communities, and engaging young people in arts career and understanding what types of careers are possible in the arts. Something that's non-traditional for young people of diverse background. You know, when kids are growing up, you know, you hear the traditional jobs and career paths like a teacher, doctor, lawyer, nurse, but there's a kind of a hidden career path that's behind the scenes in the arts that I don't think that these young people are aware of. And so we thought that it would be great to really talk to these young people and help them to explore what those possibilities would be in the arts.
How did you start your job? Taking classes, jumping into other classes that are offered even outside your school. That is really how it led me to other opportunities.
And this is a relatively new program here. It's a pilot program. How did this come about?
This is the first year of the program, and it's come from lots of conversations in the community with both community partners, other arts organizations, locally, as well as our industry partners around the country, about what does the future of the arts industry look like, and how do we continue to stay relevant, and how do we make sure that the next generation coming up feels connected to and welcome in the arts, and how do they get those early experiences so that we can make sure that arts of the future are reflective of the demographic today.
What do you think this program actually does for the other students that you've been with? You watch that process with them.
Well, I know that I am lucky in the way that I already know what I want to go into, but a lot of students don't know exactly what they want to go into, so it's good for them to explore the different careers and find the one that really clicks in their brain.
It's giving me a lot of information, all the skills that I need, and what I need to do to get to that point.
Arts isn't just in a classroom, it's choreography, theater, and a lot of other things. Like, they don't need a lot of things to do.
Overarching goals of the program, what would we want to accomplish? Because theater is so broad. It could be we want to perform one scene, or we want to put on a whole show like Hairspray.
Giving them the opportunity to explore the backstage process and all of the different career paths that are possible within the arts is really helpful, because not everyone wants to be on stage and be the performer.
Boy, what an opportunity.
Yeah, what a great idea.
It's a great program because a lot of kids don't have any idea that there's all these wonderful opportunities to be back behind the scenes. And it's a great way to learn. There are lots of jobs you can have, lots of career paths you can take. Instead of being on stage and performing, there's wonderful opportunities and knowledge that these people are giving from the professionals here in Madison.
All those organizations have to be run by somebody and
absolutely
support
right.
staff.
Is it still going on now?
It just finished for the summer, but it was the pilot program this year, so they're hoping that the success of it this year will continue again next summer.
Oh, that's great.
And how do the students get involved? Did they go to schools, or how did they pick each student to become part of the program?
I believe the teachers nominated some of the kids that had an interest in that, and then they actually then selected them from different middle schools and high schools, and then they gave them a stipend to make sure that they had incentive to go to all the programs and all the classes for the summer.
And it was all the local arts organizations.
Yes,
at Overture.
Exactly.
All the resident companies.
All the resident companies.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, next week.
Next week we'll be at the Bartell Theater for an original play called Fake Mom, with Kathy Rasmussen Theater.
Okay. On the real news.
On the real news.
Not the fake
Not
news.
fake news. Not fake.
Have
fake
a good
mom.
holiday weekend.
Thanks,
Michael.
You
Good to
too.
see you.
We'll be right back with a recap of your forecast. Dave's back. One final look at the weather.
It's not bad tonight.
No.
Not bad this weekend overall either. Temperatures in the low 70s as we take a look across southern Wisconsin. 73 in Janesville, 70 even in Monroe. 76, so one of the warmer spots in Boscobel. Plenty of sunshine, a gorgeous evening for Friday night football.
What's that green thing? That's reflecting.
Yeah, I think it's a reflection. I was like, oh no, I don't know. Maybe it's all the money that I lost in my life. Temperatures in the low 70s, as I mentioned, with, we'll call it partly cloudy skies. Look at that dew point, though, in the mid-40s. At this time yesterday, we're in the mid-60s. Yeah. So that makes a big difference. Thank you, cold front, that came through yesterday. Thank you very much. Tonight, partly cloudy and seasonably cool with temperatures falling into the low 50s. So for Friday night football tonight, I think those temperatures will be in the 60s. We'll see partly cloudy skies. And then as we get into tomorrow, we're starting off in the 50s with a few more clouds coming by. I really think that most of us avoid the rain showers tomorrow afternoon, but there is a slight chance in the forecast, so have the umbrella ready to go at a moment's notice. And then later Saturday night into Sunday, a few showers are possible. I do think we clear out skywise just in time to possibly see the northern lights as we head into Sunday night. The better chances will be a little bit farther north, but still, everything's kind of lining up there.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
And you look north.
Yes. Got it. And you look at the light. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. We're off on Monday for Labor Day, so Tuesday on Live at 4, the Goodman Pool in Madison goes to the dogs for a very good cause. This is the best video of the year. The dog paddle and dog wash.
And Consumer Reports taste test meatless burgers. We'll find out what's between the bun.
The big Labor Day weekend is here. Time to celebrate the unofficial end of summer.
But first, our two canine laborers, Lola and Louie, have the top animal stories of the week in the News Hounds Now update.
It's News Hounds Now update with Lola and Louie.
This week on the News Hounds Now update, taking your dog to work.
A fence-climbing gator
and some awfully cute cubs.
But first, it's breeding season for the Gen 2 penguins at the Melbourne Zoo. Just like in the wild, prospective suitors collect pebbles to attract a mate. They look for the smoothest stones they can find to build a nest where they'll eventually lay their eggs. It gets pretty competitive, sort of like a reality TV show. Penguins will often steal pebbles from their rivals. It's a tough world out there.
A wildlife park in Germany is home to 5 new Bengal tiger cubs, 2 boys and 3 girls. Right now, they don't see very well. They can only distinguish between light and dark, so they prefer to be in their cave with their 7-year-old mom, Bianca. The newborns are still nursing, but in 3 weeks or so, they'll slowly be introduced to solid foods. But for now, cuddling with mom makes for a pretty good day.
This Bangkok street sweeper is breaking the internet. She takes her dog to work with her every day. She's been carrying Mazda, the 1-year-old poodle Shih Tzu mix, on her back every day for the past year. Mazda weighs over 20 pounds and seems to enjoy the ride. The bring your dog to work trend has been growing in Thailand, but this takes it to